All right, let's get that background noise happening. I'm gonna do this one because that other one was bad luck. Let's turn this way down, and yeah, let's see. Let's see how this works. So we're live. We're live again. Yeah, part three. Um, this is episode 0. I'm gonna try to do this thing. So this is where I left off. We've got a machine. Here's what we are doing. Let me edit this. So there we are. That's what we're doing. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can see me. I should probably just be able to like check myself. That's probably something that good streamers do. Like they have somebody making sure that things are working and that audio sounds good. I should probably also like figure out like when people like have streams or when they like to see my streams. So it looks like it's working. Okay, good. I'm streaming on LinkedIn and YouTube and Twitch and Twitter. Well, why not, right? So we are doing something we've done before, but we're just redoing it from the start. So what I did was, I had this old blog post from December, and I'm kind of following along. We made some changes where I'm using Ubuntu 23.04. I did that on part 1, and installed it. We booted it up. It's working. So now we're gonna pick up where we left off. The SSH worked. That's what we did here, and now we're gonna upgrade the stuff. So let's do this. Sudo apt update. I wonder if that's annoying that you can see through this. So let's do this. Let's do a new tab. Basic maybe? Yeah, basic doesn't show through. I'll make it bigger so you can read. All right, but we'll wait for this one to be done. Okay, so now it says, hey, do the next step, upgradable. I'm gonna go back over here and I'm gonna sh to, what did I say, Spring Cubed is the name that I gave the machine. It's running on my local network, so it sees it. So now I can do the next step. Sudo apt, I did the update. Oh, I want to do this. The libmodules extra. Let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully that looks good. Hopefully everything sounds good. Funky Waddle says, I think I figured it out. Java is stopping and restarting to get more entrance ad revenue. I wish that were a thing. I wish that were a thing. I apologize. Oh, and I gotta change that setting. So that means, I think what I just heard is that in order to get into the stream, you've got to watch an ad first. There's got to be a way to change that. There has to be a way to change it. Oh, you have to help me. I don't want that. I want people to just come in. Help me fix that. Funky Waddle is one of my dearest, like longest held Twitch streamers that he showed me the ropes. He's a moderator, and he's awesome. He has helped me out so much along the way. And he is recently doing some really cool stuff with some really cool people. And I'm so happy for him. And he is a regular. Even though my show's not regular, Funky Waddle is regular. He's more regular to my show than I am streaming my show. All right, so this is just taking a minute. And that's all right. We can do that. Maybe I should talk about like next steps. Like what should I do? What else? Let's exit out of this one. Because I think that one looks worse. So that's going. So the next thing we'll do is a distribution upgrade. Ugh. I was in an ad break with 5 ads in a row when you shut down the stream. Okay, I have to figure that out. Can I ask a question? How is the audio? Can you hear any music? Can you hear me okay? Is the volume okay? Let me know. I now also try to pay attention to my other channel, my Discord. see where it works, where it went. Did it come up anywhere? Oh, downloading. Audio is fine. Music is really low, but I could kind of prefer it that way when trying to learn from the broadcaster. Okay, yeah, I just wanted something there so that I know that the stream is actually working. Thank you. My Discord went somewhere, but I don't see where. Oh, there it is. Of course it's gonna go right up in the middle. All right, so I got a little stream chat. There we go. Let's check in on our update. Let's check in on our update. So it says, hey, cool. Kernel is good. Nothing to reboot. QEMU binaries. All right, cool. So the next step, we just want to run the sudo apt dist upgrade. So just upgrade everything. Sudo apt dist upgrade. Do it all. We're doing it live. What could possibly go wrong? It's doing its thing. It shows us up here which things it's upgrading. It's fantastic. While that's happening, let's go look at what our next steps are. Oh, I got to fix the C group. I wonder if that's still a thing. So when I made this, this is something that you had to do because the C group stuff was set differently. In order to run Docker containers, I've always had to set this in the past so I can do that C group, and that's what Docker uses under the covers. So let Ubuntu. I'm not sure. Oh, what? Coding Spectre. Awesome. Thank you, Cactus. I don't know what that means, but I am so happy that you're here. I have seen your show, I believe. I think I'm thinking of the right person. And Funky Waddle says only 4 ads this time. And he also says, hey, I mean, if Funky Waddle's a fan, I'm also a fan. That's what I will say. I can say that with confidence. We are trying to build a Spring Boot enabled Raspberry Pi. So what's happening in the background, wrong screen. What's happening in the background is I just did a dist upgrade, and now it's saying, hey, which services should we just restart them all. That's fine. It just did a distribution upgrade, which clearly included a kernel upgrade, right? Did I have that highlighted? Was there some kind of kernel upgrade? Oh, upgrade to release core. But I don't see like a kernel thing, but running kernel seems to be updated. Cool. So now we're good. What I'm not going to do is restart this box. Oh, what I gotta fix the switch. I don't like the ads. I don't know what I did. Funky Waddle, like let's see how we can do this. Twitch.tv. So I use StreamYard. StreamYard allows me to broadcast on different YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitch and Twitter, but I don't have like I don't know where my settings are. So let me see if I can stop the ads, or how do I change the ads, because that's the last thing that I want. I have no idea even where to start. Maybe I go to my channel manager, creator dashboard, video producer channel, subscriptions, settings, probably settings. Connections, recommendations, profile. I'm looking to see how I can just at least make the ads a little bit better. And I apologize. This isn't a cool stream. This isn't cool for anybody watching me struggle. But I'm very comfortable. I don't know what I'm doing. So we're just gonna practice. We're gonna practice until we get better. Content. I don't see settings, moderation, affiliate, viewer. Guest star streaming tools. Where would I do the ad stuff? Where there's got to be a place. Roles, activity. I don't see anything in this channel. Streaming tools? No, I don't see anything in the channel that says, like, I thought there was a way that you could like say, hey, you don't have to watch an ad before you come in. Is that a change? Moderate stream, maybe? Oh, here we go. VOD, clips, no. Rate, no. No, drops rewards. I don't see it. So maybe Funky Waddle, if you would be so kind, maybe you will show me how I can do that later on, because I'm not seeing it at all. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. All right. Ooh, sorry about that. I will do my best to get ads situated so you don't have to watch ads before you come in the stream. So I should make a note of that. I'll do that right now. All right, so we're here. We've done this. This says that I got to restart, or my notes say reboot after making this change, but we're going to do this. It might mess up my camera again. It might not. So what I said is add this to the beginning of that file. So let's do that. So let's go see. I use Nano, so I can do this. Boop. And there's something else that I will probably do later, like my memory is kind of kicking in. Sudo shutdown now. This might mess up the camera and stuff, but we'll see. So let's give it a few seconds to reboot. The lights, I can see the lights on the machine are on. I'm not gonna click the camera to see and to show you. StreamYard allows me to have two cameras, and I got one machine that's kind of like running the stream, and then I have a camera like what you're seeing, this terminal screen, this one here. This is a camera. It's a game capture device that runs into that streaming machine, and then I have another game capture device that's running from the Raspberry Pi that runs in, and then I've got another camera that's just looking at the Raspberry Pi, because we'll do some fun stuff with the Raspberry Pi later. So what the idea here is, in the stream or somewhere in the future, I'm going to do Spring Cubed, how to run Spring on Kubernetes. And one of those Kubernetes targets is going to be that Raspberry Pi. So we'll explore all things like Spring Boot, and I plan on exploring all things Kubernetes, which is interesting and fun. But I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a professional. I have experience, and I'm happy to help. So I'll say this: if you've got questions, we're doing this live. If you've got questions, get your questions asked, and I'll do my best to help out. So that should be enough time for that to start. Oh, look at this. Look at this. He says, ads are listed under settings affiliate. The entrance ads are called pre-roll ads. You can shut them off there. Ooh, let's go. He said, Funky Waddle. Like I said, Funky Waddle has always been such an amazing friend. He said settings affiliate. Settings affiliate. Oh, it's a new. It says it have a new label next to it. A bunch of things are locked, but somewhere, entrance ads, pre-roll. But I have ad-free viewing. It says allow subscribers. Oh, subscribers. Okay. Ads. Pre-roll. keep pre-roll ads. No, disable pre-roll ads when I... Yes. There we go. What else can I do? I don't know. Enable stream display ads. We can adjust those later, but I think that's saved. I'm gonna go away and come back, and it says disable pre-roll ads. Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Hopefully that makes things better. So check the box. We have one to-do that's knocked out. Thank you again, Funky Waddle, for that little tip. I appreciate it. All right, let's get back to our SSH Spring cubed.local. And it's up. Yay. All right, so where are we? We've done this. We've updated our C group and we rebooted. Do I want to install K3S? No, I don't want to install K3S. I want to install just Docker. I'll do K3S later. But today, K3S is a flavor of Kubernetes. So I think I have another thing where I can jump to, and it'll be similar. Spring Native Edge RPi, where I did similar steps. Again, it was longer ago. I installed, I did things. I took a lot of pictures to kind of show you what I was doing. And Code Inspector, yeah, love it. I set up the network. I did the SSH. I did all the same things. We already did this. This evening, I SSH'd, I did the app, yep, see, I was following my own instructions. Now, I did not do this, because that's a Raspberry Pi thing. But this is how we're going to add the container runtime. This is what we're going to do. Do I have curl installed? Let's find out. It's doing things. Oh. Okay, so here Funky Waddle says, in my personal opinion, and yes, it's just my personal opinion, if you're going to be doing a walkthrough / educational type stream, pre-roll ads are better than being interrupted in the middle of the walkthrough by ads. Pre-roll ads happen once on entrance. Regular ads happen every so often on a schedule. Your viewers will get interrupted multiple times with your regular ads. Oh boy. You make a good point, but oh boy. Okay, it's something to think about. I want people to just be able to join. And yeah, this is kind of instructional, but it's kind of not. But maybe you're right. Like this is episode 0. Like I'm just trying to like get things warmed up. But I respect your opinion a lot. So maybe I should consider that. And yeah, Code Inspector, what do you think? Like pre-roll or not pre-roll? Most of what I'm going to do is instructional. But maybe I just ask like, hey, if you missed something, I'm happy to do it again. Funky Waddle says, my streams have no pre-roll or regular ads. I don't expect to be paid by Twitch all that often. It's not a revenue stream for me. Amen. So I think that's what I've got. Oh, I can just turn off the ads? Can I just turn them off? I just have no ads? Because that would be awesome. Okay, so Docker's installed. Wait. Funky Waddle saying yes, I can turn off ads, but then Code Inspector says doesn't Twitch force ads now. There's some work to be done. There's probably a good blog post somewhere that explains it all. But it's definitely something I need to follow up on and think about. Did you have an opinion, Code Inspector? Ads at the beginning, ads in the middle, or maybe it's one of those things like I've seen a lot of folks where they're like, hey, I'm going to step away, and then they just run an ad. Maybe is that a manual thing? Either way, let's go down here, and what do we see here? It says to run Docker as a non-privileged user, which is what I want to do. The Docker daemon set up in rootless mode. Let's just go ahead and do that. I believe that wasn't a case here. Oh no, it was. Run Docker, yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. Wait, did I have some notes? It said da da da. Oh, I had to install some things. We'll do that. We're going to do this. It says missing system requirements. Run the following. Sudo sh. Oh, let me just copy that. UID map. Boop, boop. I'm comfortable with that. Whoops. I don't know how that happened. Let's run it. We're just doing apt get install UID map. Code Inspector says, yeah, if you can't turn them off, I think chosen as break times are best. Okay. I need to figure that out. Awesome. All right. And granted, my ad experience is from almost a year ago. If Twitch is forcing ads of some type now, I'm unaware of it. I haven't streamed since August of last year. Get it. We'll learn together. We'll learn together. All right. So we did that. Things are updated. Is there anything else I need to do? That looks right. Let's see what my next note. Install the missing requirements. Try again. We did that. Oh, I got it. I have to do that again. So I wasn't installed. I have to do it. And then this time it'll work. Excellent. It looks unfamiliar. Like I had not seen this screen. I have not done this exercise on Ubuntu 2304 since it is still 2304. It's still April. I just haven't done it. Code Inspector says, dinner time. I'll pop back in after a bit. Thank you so much. I look forward to your return. And so does Funky Waddle. All right. Now we're good. Like we should have Docker. So the output provides us some info. It didn't tell. Oh yeah, it says here, make sure the following environment variables are set or add them. Let's do which, let's see, which Docker. Cool, I have Docker. Some applications may require the following environment variable. I think I have that in my notes here. So I will, oh, look what I did. I installed durenv, and then I put that in it. See, I like that, you know, back when, in March, oh, it just updated? That's weird. But back in April 2022, I left myself a note. I said, hey, do it this way. Use durenv. Because you're going to eventually need it. I'm a big fan of it. So let's just do it. So durenv allows me to set up environment variables. And this is not, I'm not recommending this way to do it. This is just the way that I do it. I've got my tools that I like to use. And I like to give myself notes. I like to, in my notes are in the form of a blog post. So I made, you know, I definitely didn't do this. I did this. I set this up in the doc so that I could copy and paste. And now I can just continue. I don't have to do anything else. Cool. And now we're going to add those environment variables. Like that's already there. But I'll put it there anyways. Boop, boop, boop. Durenv allow. And cool. Now it says, hey, I loaded my ENVRC and now I've got a Docker host and a path. Excellent. So now verify configuration, sudo login, enable linger username. What? It says configure Docker to run on system startup and reboot. So this was done on Raspbian. Do I want to do that? Configure Docker to run on system startup and reboot. You know what? I think I am going to do that. Let's see. Do I have login CTL? I do. Enable linger state of one or more users. Okay, so that's what it's doing. It says, hey, for me, but did I start up Docker? Configure Docker to run on system, because this right here isn't configuring Docker to run on system startup. Because I haven't even started Docker yet, did I? Oh, I did. No. So I did not. So if I do this, q docker ps, oh, it is up and running. Okay. I'm doing this right here, right? Systemctl user. Boop. Wait, isn't there a status? Yeah, it is running. Okay. So if I ran that linger command, that's okay. It doesn't. This command, that linger, that's not saying start up Docker on system start. It's saying if Docker is up, leave it up when I come back. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, I know I shouldn't whistle into the mic. Do this, enable Deshaun. And now it says shutdown. The last shutdown worked fine. I think I could do that. But username could already run Docker commands as a non-privileged user. Right? Docker info. Yeah, I already could. Oh, wait, what is this? No CPU set support? No, I don't know what those, I've never seen those before that I remember. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll learn together. Oops, clear. Yeah, so I'm here. I don't have to restart because I validated it. So now I should be able to do this. I run a Spring Boot application delivered as an ARM64 native image. I should be able to do this. Unable to find it, so I went and downloaded it. It's downloading. And it's going to be a native image, which is awesome. But this was built a long time ago. This image that we're running right now was built a long time ago. So now if I go Docker ps, I have it running. It is running. It's been up for 4 seconds. And what it's doing is it's saying, hey, port 8080 goes to this process on port 8080. So if I go over here and I say spring cubed.local 8080 actuator health, it's up and running. This is good. We're in a good spot. So what we have now is we've got a Spring Boot app, an older one, running on this Raspberry Pi that we just installed. And we updated, we set the C groups, and we're good. Like, we've done all the steps. So now what? Oh, look at that, was 2.6. For those of you that haven't been following along, we're running Spring Boot 3.1 these days. So at a minimum, what we should do is go and build a Spring Boot 3.1 RC1 app, right? That's the bottom. That's the very minimum that we should do. We're not running Kubernetes, because one of the other things that I want to show is the cloud native apps and how they can run, how they work on Docker, and how they can work on Kubernetes or Cloud Foundry or Azure Spring Apps or whatever it is. But it's the idea of the way that you build and deliver your apps for a cloud native, for a they're not tied into some platform if you do it right. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So let's jump away from there. Let's go over to a new window, new tab, and let's go to cd fun Deshaun, and let's let's do this way. Let's do a Spring Cubed hub.com, Sean. We're gonna make a new repository. And let's make a Spring Cubed episode 0. All right, public stuff. Yeah, add a README. Don't need that. License. Go use it. Copy all my stuff. Use it. That's the whole deal. I think that's the one that we want. So hey, let's grab this guy. We're going to check that out. Yep, clone. This is how. It's not always how I start. I don't want to do it that way just yet. I want to now go to start.spring.io. I'm going to use Maven, Java. I want 3.1.0 RC1, the release candidate. Dev, Deshaun, Cubed. Yeah, Spring. Cool. Don't need that. It's going to be a jar file and Java 17. We're going to add just a couple of things. We're going to add the web. We're going to add, and that web is a web server that's going to just bundle in with what we're doing. So like with Laravel, right? You write your web stuff, but then you've also got to set up Nginx or Apache to run the stuff, right? You have to connect the dots. So what I'm doing is I'm just giving it the web server, and it's configured out of the box for me, which is kind of cool. I am going to add this Graal VM native support, which I'm not going to really show the need for it. I'm doing it really as a reminder of myself. I'm going to add the actuator, so I don't have to code a whole lot, and I get a production ready metrics, production ready endpoints kind of deal. Is there anything else I want to add here? No. Let's just start there. We're just trying to like replace that other one. So it's going to generate. It's going to give me a zip file, and I'm going to unzip downloads spring.zip, and then I'm going to move spring star to here, remove spring dot get ignore here, and move spring dot mdn to here. I think that's it. So I just moved all the files out of that Spring zip. I don't need that file or that folder. Now let's jump in here. Let's just take a quick look, because we're gonna do just a couple of interesting things. We'll do a couple of interesting things. Again, we're landing this in Docker. Not Kubernetes yet. I want it to be able to play nicely in both worlds. So this machine that I'm running on, this is my Mac M1, which has an ARM64 processor, but so does this Spring Cube machine that we're working on is also an ARM64 machine. So here we have our README, our stuff. Maybe I'll update that later. But let's just do this. Let's just do the nvnw clean spring boot run. Like just go and run. We didn't write any code. Always says, hey, go start up that server. Wow. It started up in 0.816 seconds. We can go and validate it. I know I can do it in here with like there's like a services. I think I can do edit configuration. Maybe I won't do that right now because I don't know exactly. But there's a way that I can just run these endpoints. Here, easy with client. create request in HTTP client. Yeah. So run localhost 8080 and not API item 99. I want actuator health. Cool. I ran. So all I did was just validate. Instead of going to a browser, all I did was validate that service is up, and it saved the response. Like, hey, this is the actual JSON response that it delivered. Fantastic. All right. So we're good. It's up and running. Next step. Let's do this. There's a few things that I like to do. So I made this little initializer plus. Hopefully it works. So this is it's a Spring Boot, Spring Shell command that I made to do some of the things that I like to do in a project. So I'm doing initializer plus JGetVer so that when I release projects, it releases them based on the tag that it's associated with, the release tag in Git. So if you do this, git status, like it added some stuff here, some extensions, some JGetVer stuff, good. But I can also see that there's a bug here. It created this MDN directory that it didn't need. So let me do this. I should commit git add git ignore MDN. I can add all of this, right? But I don't want the shell. Spring shell.log, right? Spring shell.log. I also don't want .envrc. Git ignore, git status. Let's git add the rest. All right, so this works. Let me just MVW. No, this works. The other things I do, initializer plus help. Initializer plus. I don't need the native Maven plugin. I like to set my project name as something specific. I have a default where it just uses the project group and the project artifact, and what that does is it modifies project name. All right, I don't want the description. Do I do anything? Yeah. So as you can see here, I've got a description that I got by default because this is kind of my process. I go to start.spring.io, I build it, and then it says, hey, yeah, I'm going to give you a description, but I don't want that description. So I say initializer from the Spring initializer plus the things I want to do on top of that. I say project description. So you can imagine doing this from like a command line. Oh boy, it parsed. It's got errors, so I can't even like brag about it. So that's lame. So what it would do is it could do this, boop, and that's what it looked like. So what else do we got here? The script web. I don't need the profile. Oh, I do the project version. Hopefully this works. Project version, and by default, I want it set to 0. So just a second ago, it was 0.0.1-snapshot, and after running my thing, it says 0. Cool. So that's my initializer plus. It's all the steps that I take. It's also a reminder. I got this little list it's a reminder of the things that I like to do for all my projects when I kick them off. You know what? There's one more thing that I've been doing lately that I just haven't gotten into my initializer. So I'm going to go and copy that, and that's this Spring formatter. I have it someplace, so I'm just going to go and copy that setup. Which one? One of these recent ones. No. Is it this one? I think it's this one. If I go into the Palm. All right, so if I was gonna do this anyways, I'm doing this on most of my projects. So what I should do is add this. Oh, let's go ahead and give us a github.com. It's the initializer. I'm gonna open these issues, right? Initializer plus plus. So the first issue was that project description parse error. And then the second one, add the Spring, what is it? The Spring Java format Maven plugin. Boop, and there. Oop, not that. I want this part. Copy. Boop. This is code. Right. Which one's code? Add code. There. There. Preview. That's a. Ugh. Anyways. Maybe I do it this way. There. Did that work? No, I didn't. There we go. That's what I want. Oh, let's put this on another line. So that's a note for later. Something for me to work on. Ugh. All right. So I got some issues. Notes for later. We'll come back. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that here as well. Actually, here's got an issue. So down in my plugins, I have the Spring Boot Maven plugin. I have the native Maven plugin. So now this is going to validate my formatting. So I do mvmw clean test. It's going to make sure that all my Java is formatted properly. I haven't written anything, so all the Java that I got came from the initializer, so it's formatted the exact same way. Fantastic. And things are working. So now let's add that Palm. Oops, add Palm. And what we have here is a Spring Boot 3.1.0 RC1 simple with with my favorite plus defaults. Cool. All right, so now we are here and we've got some code. And not only do we have some code, we've got some code that is running on Docker. So now what should we do? So now it's 7:30. Now let's go and do something cool. Let's step it up a notch. Let's go and build a gateway. So I'm gonna leave this guy here. No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do a. I'm gonna add some stuff here. I think I did it in the Spring Native. I want to make it similar to the Spring Native Pi, right? Native Pi. I think I added. Maybe I didn't. I might have added a controller. Oh, look I did Kubernetes there too. Let's go take a peek. No, I didn't. I didn't add anything. Okay. Is there anything? I don't think there is. So yeah, I got an app that works and it runs. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a gateway. And again, we're doing this on Docker. I'm just prepping things for later on. I could do something where I expose this Raspberry Pi out so that you could see it, that might be interesting. Funky Waddle or anyone, would that be interesting? Like, which way should I go? Should I just like build things out, or should I build them out and make them visible to you while I build them out? I have some options here. Let's do this. Let's go build another. I don't need to do that. Let's go over here. So this is very similar to another project I'm working on. Web. I'm going to add the gateway. I can't use the gateway. Okay, I can do that still. I'm just making a milestone 1. So the gateway is set and tested for milestone 1. Funky Waddle says, sorry, was sidetracked setting some stuff up on my local machine. What are you trying to build out? I don't know. I'm going to build something. It's going to eventually land on Kubernetes. So I'm building a pattern that I do. I've done it a lot. So I'm just going to, follow the same patterns. So I have something to talk about. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use 306 instead of 310 RC1. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to add Spring Cloud Gateway. And this is a thing that will allow me to route internally. I don't want everything to be routed on the client side. I like to have one client so that when I'm making changes in the back end, I'm not having to always make additional changes on the front end, which makes me think that maybe I should do GraphQL here, which makes a whole lot of sense. So let's just bring the native support gateway. I am going to put the web back in because I might just do like a hello default. So this is Devdashan cubed Spring default gateway. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, naming things is hard. Do what you do. The wife just said dinner was in 2 minutes. I'll be leaving for bed. Okay, so I'll continue to think out loud. Tell your wife I said hi, and let's just keep on going. So we have a default gateway. Cool. I'm using jar 17. The only reason I'm not doing RC1 is because the gateway, the starter won't allow me to. Probably works just fine. But 3.1.0 is going to be coming out right around the corner. And if you're curious, like I am, you can go look. Like here, 3.1.0 RC2 comes out next week. Spring Cloud Dataflow comes out next week. So there's like an order to things, right? So the Spring Boot, and then usually the Spring Cloud comes after. Right, so Spring Framework, then the Spring Boot stuff, then the Spring Cloud stuff. That's kind of the order that things work. But not all of them have the same dependency. There are different release trains, if you will. So yeah, we'll cover that. We'll get to that soon. But I was looking to see, I don't see I assume that the gateway will come out with a cloud release, but I don't see gateway on its own. And I know that we have had that, right? Was it in February? Oops. Boot. There was a release, but yeah, it might just be in the Spring Cloud. I don't remember off the top of my head. I should know this. Oh, there. Nope. That's not it. Okay. Wait, context propagation. Okay. So cool. Let's go back here. So I'm going to make another project. GraalVM, Spring Boot Actuator, Gateway, Spring Web. Yeah. So before I do that, yeah, I can generate that. I'll get a zip file but then I'm going to go over here, GitHub. You know what? Yeah, I'll do it here. Oh, I didn't make it yet. I gotta go make it. Boop. Make a new repository. And it is dev.deshawn.cubid.spring gateway. And yeah, default gateway. I will add a README and Apache 2 license. We'll create that repository. We'll go check that repository out. Wait, I skipped a step. So I only ran the thing that we just built. I only ran it on my box. I didn't deploy it. So let's do this real quick, and then let's go deploy that other thing. So here in my local zip downloads, it was default gateway. Wait, and then I want to grab this, boop boop, and I'm going to make sure not make sure, git clone that guy and go into there, and then I want to move // default gateway star into here. On move // default gateway get ignore into here, and the .mvn into here. ls / default to make sure ls - default gateway. Okay, there's nothing left. So all right. Now let's open up this guy. So now I've got a little gateway project, but we're gonna go back over to this little Hello World app, because what we did was we created an app that works, but what we didn't do was we didn't build the image. So in order to do that, and because I'm going to be using both ARM64 and x86 machines, what I don't have is a destination for, I want to have Kubernetes for both. I want to have Docker for both. So we're going to do this. Let me think here. We'll figure it out. So I'll show you what I need, why I'm doing what I'm doing. Is over here on my repositories, I've got a Paketo ARM64. And this guy gives a multi-architecture build pack. So I can generate images for ARM64 and for AMD 64. And it clearly says right here, hey, just replace this with this. And it matches the upstream build pack as much as possible. It's a little changed because of some changes that I made yesterday. But for the most part, it's matching as much as possible. It's matching upstream. So the Spring Boot Maven plugin, we're going to use, instead of the Paketo Builder Tiny, we're going to use Deshawn Builder Tiny, my custom version. All right. So now, git status, we just added git. Cool. So now, if I were awesome, which I'm not. If I were awesome, I would do something like this. I would go, not this one. I've got another gateway project here. This is also on my Hello. I've been doing a lot of gateways, and I've been doing a lot of authorization server stuff. So this one is also on my GitHub, dev Sean Service Gateway. So yeah, have at it. And again, I don't know these things off the top of my head, so all I'm gonna do is copy this. Raw, Control A. I didn't need to do it here because I have it right here. So Control A, Control C. I want to do a config in this Spring Cubed episode 0. So what I originally planned to do for today, I'm already done. What I was planning on doing with this episode was really I just wanted to get a Spring Boot app running on that Raspberry Pi that will eventually have Kubernetes running on it, and we can see that it is. But we can also see that this is running this old Spring Pi native version from Spring Boot 2.6, and we don't want to do that. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to make this. Oh, not that one. We're going to make this .circle CI directory, and we're going to put that config.xml or config.yml in there. So here, we're going to make a new directory .circle CI, and we're going to add a config.yml, and we're going to make it so that we get a build. All right. So here's the cool part. So Circle CI is amazing. Its orbs they map to GitHub Actions in my head. Like these are like the GitHub Actions that you can use, you can plug, and you can pull. So for here, I'm saying, hey, I want to use this Docker orb and this SDKman orb. And sorry if my naming is all wrong. But for this workload, here's what I want to do. I want to build an ARM64 native image. Now you're like, hey, Deshaun, we didn't do an ARM64 native image. You're right. I didn't show you what that meant. I just added the POM file. This POM file, my POM file, now has this builder. So let me just go ahead and run that because it takes a while, but let me just run it so you can kind of see what's happening. So I'm going to build it locally. So with Spring Boot, it has this thing where you say build image. So this is where I'll say, friends don't let friends use Docker files. You're going to find some Docker files in my repositories, but that's only because I don't want you to have to deal with Docker files. I'm going to build packs so that you don't have to mess with Docker files. You can just use build packs. But Sean, what does that mean? This right here, you get a plugin when you go the route that we did. We went start.spring.io. Boop. Let's go show that. Here, we built our little project. In our project, it automatically included the Spring Boot Maven plugin. And with that, in the parent POM, you get this ability. With Spring Boot 3 and above, you get this ability to do ahead of time processing. So here's build a Docker image. We'll do that. Build a Docker image. It's going to go for 310 RC1. It's going to build a Docker image. And what it's doing is building, when I say Docker image, I mean an OCI image. Docker images, old format, Docker's still around, but now there's other container runtimes, and OCI is the new standard. So it's like a Docker file version 2 or Docker image version 2. So sorry, I will try to clarify. This is going to generate in 29 seconds. I now have a Docker image. If I do this, I say Docker images. I have a Docker image, and this one's just called Spring. I don't like that. I don't want it to just be called Spring. It pulled down my builder, Tiny, and it did this run jammy. That's the run file, which, is that right? I think it is. I don't think it is. The builder gets the build. I need to reach out. This might be wrong. It's working. So let's see if this next part works, and it will. So I'm pretty confident. So let's look at the size here. So it's a Spring is the name of it. It's got a 0.0.0 tag. It's got an image ID here. The size is 179 megabytes. So that's the one we just created. I'm gonna go over to this other project because that one I didn't do it right. Docker push, I gave it this image name, but I think I can do, I want to give these image names. So let's go back here to this, and let's show you what I'm talking about instead of just mumbling. Spring Boot Maven plugin. And here's the docs and packaging OCI images and build image. And down here in the examples, custom image name. So by default, it's going to say it right. By default, the image name is inferred from the artifact ID and the version. So back here, remember it did Spring and version 0.0.0. That's because in the POM, I've got the name artifact. It's just called Spring, and the version is 0. So that's the name that it gave it. But what I'd rather have, what do I want it to be called? I want the image. I'm going to call it something different. Spring. What do I want it to be called? Naming things is so hard. I'm not going to do it up there. Because I have this little option that I can do in here. I can just name it. Boop, boop, there. So in my plugin, right, the same place I did the builder, I'm going to add this image name. Hi, my name is Deshaun. And this is going to be, do I want it to be project ID? If I did group ID, it'd be dev.deshaun.cubed dot project artifact ID. Let's do that. Let's do this. So it's going to be called dev.deshaun.cubed dot Spring. And I can also give it a version, right? A tag, right? They did that in the example. No, they didn't. So it gives it the name, but it doesn't give it a tag. And I should give it the name of, I want it to have this same name. Where's my 0 version? So it's project dot version. Project dot version. I don't want to have to figure these things out anymore, so I just want it to be automatic. So that's why I gave it that version 0, and I'm going to give it a tag, and then it'll go and do these things. All right, so now I have this image, so this is the one that we made without doing the native image stuff. So now I'm going to do the native image, and I'm going to turn this on by default. The native image, I forget what the tag is. It's an ENV. It's build native image. Let's go find out. Example, ahead of time processing. Let's go look at these examples. Custom build, builder cache, Docker config, build packs, build pack. Well, here, I know it's over here. So the property is over here in this one. It's this BP native right here, BP native image true. I want that enabled. How do I do it in Maven? I forgot. That's why I'm doing 100 days of code, because I should have these things like memorized. But I don't need that. Watch, I don't need that, because I can go like this. I can say /nbnw. By doing p native, in the parent POM, it does the same thing. I can do p native spring boot build image. So now this is going to do the AOT processing. It requires Java 17. It requires GraalVM, which you get. So I'm building that. That's going to take some time. We're going to go up here and say, hey, I'm doing ARM64 native. Here's the type of machine. I want a Ubuntu 2004 ARM medium is the size. The steps that I want to take, I want to check out this project. I want to SDK-man, I want to set up SDK-man, and I want to install Java, this version. Let's go take a look at our SDK-man and see if that's still the latest version. I'm going to open up another terminal. I'm going to say SDK-man list Java. SDK list Java. GraalVM. So I've got 22.3.r17-grl. That's what I want. Wait, there's a 22.3.1. That's obviously newer, right? So that's what we want. We want the new one. 22.3.1. .r17-grl. All right, and then once we've done the checkout and we've set up our Java, then what we want to do is, I'm not going to call it boot build image. I'm going to call it string boot build image, and the command is /nbnw-p native. Wait, why does it say native? It's not. It's spring boot build image. That native dash image from Copilot is an old version. That's from the Spring Native experimental package that we were using back with Spring 2.6 and 2.7. So then log into Docker with my username and password that I get from the context it's already set up. And then I want to Docker push Deshaun dev. Let's figure out what that. Ooh. Circle tag arch. I don't know what that value is, but let's take a look. So this says only do this. I believe that's what this says. Only do this workflow with this context, with the Docker stuff that I already have set up, only on tags. Ignore all the branches. Only on tags that have a V something in main. I think that's what it says. And I think that this tag matches this tag, whatever is from GitHub. All right, so I think that this config YAML is right, but what we're doing now is we gave it a new image. So here's the image name. Kind of. Why does it say /library? Why does it say /library? Did I put that in there? Oh, I did. That's weird. That's weird. I didn't mean to do that. Why did I do that? I think that was just copied from the example. So here, this is the name, kind of, in my config. It's dev.deshaun.cube.spring. So dev.deshaun.cubed.spring. And I wanted to give the, whatever version it is, so 000, arch64 is the output. There's a thing here where in this project, no, in this project, what I do is I have a plugin here that detects for Gradle. It's a Gradle plugin that detects the operating system that it's running in, and I use that value here. I use it here somewhere, right here, OS detector. Now, have I done the same thing with Maven? I don't know, but I need to. So let's do a Maven OS detector. Oh, you know what? In Maven, I believe it's actually it's a Maven command. I think it's just a regular property. Maven. OS Maven plugin. Is that the one? I've clicked on this before. OS detected name. So yeah, this is OS Maven. Oh, it's an extension plugin. Okay, so yeah, I have used this. This is the one. So in order to do it, I have to do the thing. Okay, add the extension to your Palm. Yeah, and that's how I found the one from Google, I bet. Plugin, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so let's add this to our extensions. I feel like there's like another way to do this. And the extensions, is that what these are up here? Not in this project. Over here, the extensions, isn't that what these are? The extensions. So I don't want to put it in my Palm. I think I want to put it up here in my extensions. I think. I've done it once or twice before, but again, I like to do those things and then not ever have to think about them again. So let's see what happens this time. It took 1:53 seconds to do it the other way. But before we do that, let's look. So the original jar, not native image, was 179 megabyte OCI image that came out, because that image had the jar file and the operating system and the JVM, so it could run. This one only needs the operating system and the app, the native image that doesn't need a JVM. So it's a much smaller image, So let's just do this. Maven Spring Boot build image. But I want to use the values that I get from here. So in order to use those, I have this. And I'm going to put that into my image name. So here, Deshaun, the version dash image name. Now it says, hey, I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? Now let's see. It looks like it does now. All right, so let's try this build. And now we expect the tag to be 0.0.0 dash ARM64 or one of these, right? What would I expect it to be? OS detected? No, I don't care about the OS. I want OS detected Arch. I expect the OS detected Arch to be this. OS detected, not classifier. I want OS detected .arch. And that's what I expect. I expect that to be 0.0.0 dash AARCH64. And look, that's what we're building. We're building this AARCH. Okay, now this says execution, default CLI of goal, building failed, Docker API call, failed with status call, internal server error, not, what? Oh, is it? The builder is working. We pulled that image and then it said failed to execute build image. This build image failed. The API call to localhost images create Docker Adishon build tiny internal server TLS handshake timeout. I saw a yellow line. What was that? Parameter system properties is deprecated. Use system property variables instead. That must be something from something else. Okay, so it worked. So that was just a weird hiccup. And now I have an image with a different tag. I can go look and I see that I've got now 3 images that I built. I built the first one, I built the second one as a native image, and then this time I built it with a different name. Same image, different name. Okay, so now that's what I want to do. So I've done it here locally. I've done the build. It took 1.5 minutes. But I don't want to have to build all the images on my M1 in order to deliver to my Raspberry Pi. So we're making this config and we're giving it this tag. The tag is the version and AARCH_64. So dev Dishon cubed spring. Good. So I think that that's ready. And we added our extensions. So let's do this. Git status. Git status. And we're going to, what are we going to do? We are going to git add circle CI and git add, we're going to just add all this. Git commit, let circle CI, or what we're doing is add circle CI workflow for Arch64. Now what I need to do is I need to go over to Circle CI and make sure that this runs. So let's go over here, Circle CI. Let's try not to, hack myself here in the process. So it's not registered. It's not showing up in here. So let's go to my dashboard, my projects. Oh, look at this. I have Spring Queued episode 0. Let's set that project up. Fastest. Use the one that's already in there. Yeah. From main. Yes. It says, hey, I found it. Cool. Let's go. So that's another thing that I now I'm gonna struggle with this for just a sec. Because I have strong opinions, but there's a difference here. So I don't like the fact that if I want to have this automation, right now we're gonna say, hey, it's okay, it's cool. I want you, whoever you are, I want you to see how I do the Circle CI stuff, so that you can go and copy and paste and do your own. But I don't like for at scale, I don't want to add Circle CI stuff to all of my projects. I would rather have a centralized thing that knows where all my repositories are and can go build images when it needs to. We're going to get to that, but not today. So I'm going to go back here to my this other repository, and I'm going to say, hey, let's make this simple. And I'm going to add another little issue, something that I can do later. But I want to add workflows for Circle CI and GitHub to generate multi-architecture builds. CI images. Okay, I'll put that in there so that at some point I can upgrade this Spring Shell project to go and just make it so I don't have to think about it. Just Initializer++, I can do it as a pipeline. Excellent. So I just, again, making a note to self. Making a note to self. Don't need this anymore. So now that's created. But it didn't run. Like, hey, like I thought we said we wanted it to run because I didn't tag it. So do I remember how to tag things? No, I don't. So did I leave myself a note somewhere? Hopefully in this README, there's something about how to tag. There we go, look at this, release. Let's just go ahead and let's add these things. License, contributing, and release. Here, let's just go copy pasta over to what we're working on, this one. And in the README, okay, we're just gonna see again, these are things, it's silly, undifferentiated, like I'm just copying and pasting. The things that I'm copying and pasting should just be automatic. I shouldn't have to copy and paste. So I gotta give myself a reason, give myself a way to not have to copy and paste, okay? So what we're gonna do now is get status, get add, get commit, update README with license, contributing, and release sections. Now we're ready, right? We validated it, we tested it locally on the M1, but will this image that I generated on the M1 work on the, I don't really want to do it on that Raspberry Pi. I don't want to copy this image over. What I want to do is I want to commit this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say git tag v 0.0.1. I'm going to say git push origin v 0.0.1. So now I pushed a tag up to my repository of 0.0.1. I don't need this. I don't need this. We're not doing that anymore. Let's go to that repository. And I've got a tag. Cool, I got a tag, I got a release tag. So what that means is this guy should kick off. And there it is. Boop, boop, nothing. Cool. But now this one's going. Excellent work. It's Friday. This is how I get down. Things are working. It's installing SDK 22.3.1, which I should do this. SDK list Java. I should install that locally, right? No, this one. SDK install Java zoink. So I can use that locally. So while this is running, I'm updating the latest Java version of my SDK, and I didn't install Java on the Raspberry Pi because the only thing I'm going to deliver to that Raspberry Pi is OCI images. Do you want, yes, let's make that the default. Okay. And now what? now. Let's go see this. This will take a little bit. Like I said, the AOT processing takes a little while. We should be able to go in and kind of see what's happening. It's taking some time, even on my M1 that I ran a little bit ago. Here, let's see if the M1 can beat it. MV1 W-P. Oh, let's do this. Cool. All right, MVN-W-P native spring boot build image. So what it's doing is checking to see those things, and now it's building a 0.0.1 image. So that one's going. That one's on step 1 of 7. I might beat it on the M1 because up here, right? I'm not going to spend a lot of money. I don't care how long it runs when it's running on somebody else's machine. So I would like to stay in the free zone as much as possible. So I'm using this little ARM medium box, which I think has 2 CPUs or something like that. But we can see that I'm also on step 1 of 7. I recognize that from here. So my box is gonna do all these same things. But let's go look at the Circle CI ARM 64 machines. Okay, thank goodness, this is such an awesome service. We needed it. So here's ARM Medium. That's what I'm doing. I think I said Ubuntu 2004 latest, current. Yeah, it's doing stuff. There's a list of the images. But I don't remember where. ARM processor architectures, no. There we go. So the ARM Medium, which is the default, has 2 vCPUs and 8 gigs of RAM. Awesome. So my M1 is on step 6, 7. My M1 is almost done. It's building the image. Is it going to beat this guy? Yes, it's absolutely going to beat this guy. So he's on 4 of 7. So even though I started later, I finished ahead. It took 2 minutes and 4 seconds on my M1, which I would call it an M1. Let's see what it would compare to. It would be, do I have 16 VCPUs? I have 64. No, I have 32. So maybe it's an extra large. Do I have 8 vCPUs? I don't know. It's got 32 gigs. Chip is the M1 Max. That doesn't mean anything to me, right? I don't know. We'll call it an extra large. We'll say the extra large beat the medium by a little bit. That's still going, still on step 5. So yeah, I expect to get the same image name, which would be great. And yeah, we're good. I can close that. I'm waiting for this to go. And while I do that, let's go over here, Docker, and let's Docker stop what Spring native Pi, Docker images, Docker remove image, Sean Spring Pi native focal ARM 64. Let's remove that image. Okay, it's gone. Docker images, cool. And we wait for the upstream. What this build is going to do is it's not only going to build it, but it also pushes it to my Docker Hub. Hey, welcome. I am happy to see you. I've been going for a little bit. I had a couple of starts and stops earlier. I'm doing I say that I'm doing a lot of things, but I'm trying to do a little series on Spring Cubed. Like let's run Spring on Kubernetes. But today is episode 0. Before you get to Kubernetes, before I get to Kubernetes, I want to make sure that I can run Docker. I can run OCI images. So episode 0 of this Spring Cubed effort, it took three takes. The first one I had to install the operating system on the Raspberry Pi. It's up on YouTube. The second one, I broke the mirror. I couldn't screen share anything. And now we're at part 3, all within the last couple hours. Part 3, I made 2 Spring Boot apps, simple, nothing fancy. And I'm now taking this Spring Boot app. I'm generating an ARM64 image so that I can run on that Raspberry Pi. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look. So this, Docker push failed. Docker push, the push refers to tag does not exist. What? I have to have a Docker tag there. Wait, what? Oh, because of this. So you see here, this thing, the circle tag, it gets from Git, from the Git release tag. How did I fix that? How did I fix that over here? I don't think I did. Right down there. It gets that V, and I don't want that V from the tag. So, what did I do anything over here? I don't think I did. What I think I did was in the workflow here. Again, on push. Over here, I'm generating. Look here. I'm generating on an x86 box. I use Java. Hey, do the boot build image, blah blah blah, and then when I log in, I Docker pull that image. Wait, I use the GitHub ref name. Wait, so what? So did I do that up here? How did I? I'm just checking my stats here. I amend the x86 version. I pull this version. Oh, and I'm pushing to, okay. Why is that? What I'm looking at is like, hey, how did I push this guy? When I do it this way, the -A, it'll push all tags. Right, deploy the image to the node. It'll push all tags. And then I pull it. Well, I already have it locally. So I didn't have to pull it again. I already have it. And I already have it as this GitHub ref name. But how? Because the build Gradle, it does this project.version. It does project.version. Oh, that's why. Because the image name, hold on. Yes, you need to utilize Docker. So get caught up, get Docker installed. this tag shouldn't be circle tag. How? So one way to get around this is if I just put a V right here. So then it'll be circle tag blah. So that's one way to get around. So the problem was, it says, hey, I don't see this image V001 dash. But I can't get, okay, so the other option that I have is I can go and look at and I think I ran into this and I think I chased it down and I don't think that there was a good answer. So in the Circle CI config, I want to go and look at this Circle CI Docker. So Circle CI Docker orb. And I want to push all tags. Running Docker commands. All right, build Docker image. Orbs. Docker. Okay, it's still 2.2.0, right? Okay. Version orbs. So here, build push. I want to see push. Commands push. So tag required. The default is circle SHA-1. Comma separated list of image tag defaults to the value of circle SHA-1. Circle SHA-1. But it's not required. So I've got to figure out what happens if I do the Docker push and I don't pass a tag. Oh, yeah, if I don't pass it, it'll do the circle SHA-1, which won't work either. Okay, so I think for now, I think what I'll do is I will just use the V value, since that's what's happening. And let's just do that. So git status, git add the POM, git commit, change image name to use V from the tag to match to match the circle tag value. Okay, so now I've pushed that up. Nothing will happen because I've got to do the get release part, right? The only way I'm going to build those images is if I do a release. So I can make all the changes. I'm doing stuff on main, but now I'm like, hey, yeah, cool. I want to do this. Git tag v0.0.2. Git push origin v0.0.2. Again, my local box is going to beat, but we want to do the local box anyways. mbnw-p native spring boot build image. This will take about 2 minutes. And what I want to do is make sure that the image tag says V002-AARCH. And it does, V002-AARCH. And I can change it when I slap it together with my manifest, which we'll do later. So, we're making images. It's going to take about 2 minutes here. We can go and look. And you know what would be cool? Let's go to our dashboard. Another cool thing that we can do, it failed over here. We can see that when I made that change, it didn't do anything because it didn't see the tag. So now with V002, it says, hey, yeah, run. So what I want to do here is on one of these other projects, one of these projects, I had a little CI badge. What does that look like? That circle CI passing. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, generate quick start. No. Issue. Here, pipelines. Deshaun Builder ARM. It looks like it's this right here. Let's see if we can do that same thing for our little project. Let's see if we can get a badge. Cool. So it looks like if I do Deshaun, I say Spring Cubed episode 0, which is kind of lame title for that repository. And I go over to here to GitHub Deshaun, and I just replace copy paste, Control C, and I replace this with this. Style Shield, HD Apps, Service App, Pipeline, GitHub Deshaun, and I replace that with this. And maybe, boom, no builds. It says no builds. Is there something I have to do? Let's see. Is that right? Here, Spring Cubed episode 0. Said, oh, that should be right? GitHub Deshaun Spring Cubed episode 0. GitHub Deshaun Spring Cubed episode 0. Those should match. I think that's right. Let's see if there's like a status badge. Pass failed. It looks like this. That's it. Oh. Is it that? Slightly different. Because this one says DL. I want it as markdown, right? So it's slightly different. Style, pass failed. That's all I want. Branch main, embed code. Let's copy that. Let's see what we got here. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, it says no, so it's giving me the same result. But why is there a difference? What is the difference? Status badge. Just looks like it slightly is a different style. Is that the only thing I did? Was just like a different. I don't know. If you find the status too minimal, you use the shield style. Replace style equals SVG with style equals shield. Is that what I did? Style equals SVG with style equals shield. Maybe that is all I did. But the URLs are different. Instead of app.circleci, I've got dl.circleci. Everything else looks to be the same. There's a redirect here. That's, and maybe that's just because of the SVG, where it needs the extra download the SVG that got generated. I'm gonna leave what I got here. All right, so holler back here. Oh, it's still running. Took 6 minutes. Last time it took 6 minutes 39 seconds before it failed. So we expect that it'll do somewhere around there. Icon, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's good. I'm trying to get caught up. You're happy to jump into the stream chat on my Discord, and yeah, let me know how's it going. Are you going to stream? Are you going to stream this evening? Because I'm about ready to wrap up this episode. Once I just got to get it pushed. Okay, so we got Spring Cubed episode 0. We have a successful thing. Let's watch this. It still says no builds, but we're gonna push this anyways. Get status, get add that, get commit, add circle CI, status shield. And then let's go and look at our repository. Hey, give me just a couple minutes, I'll be right out. Oh, give me a couple minutes, I'll be right out. We will do this. We're gonna go to github.com, Sean Spring Cube episode 0. And hopefully it still says no builds, which is kind of lame. No builds. Maybe there's a gap or something. But we'll come back and check it later. Not that important. What is important is that this ran. We can go back and we can look at the Docker push, and we can see that, hey, I pushed this version up to Docker Hub. So now I can go to hub.docker to my public repository, and I can see that I've got a new version, Docker Dev Deshawn Cube Spring. I can go in there. I should see a tag, v002. Good. So now I can Docker pull that, or let's do this. Let's go Spring. I'm going to copy and paste, right? I've done this before. GitHub.com, Deshawn, Spring, boot, Spring, boot, native I. And I added some instructions here. Generate, yeah. No, I did it from my Deshawn.com, from the post. And in the post, Spring Native Edge RFI. I just want to copy this one section. This one right here. Let's go here and quick start. Bash. Do this. So Docker run name. We're gonna call it Spring Cubed episode 0. We want to run that. Expose port 8080, and the image that we want to run is not this one. The image that we want to run is this one. This one. Deshawn Dev, Deshawn Cube Spring v002-arch64. And now I created an ARM64 image over on Circle CI from my Spring Boot app. Now let's go and run this command on our Raspberry Pi. And it said, hey, I can't find it. Let me pull it down. Let's take a look at how big it is. I expect it to be less than 100 megs. Docker images, 98.7 megs. Tiny, and that didn't even do compression. We can compress it even more. Oh, I did it. Yeah, it's up and running. Docker PS. See, it's up, it's running, it's been running. So now what I can do over here is I go to spring cubed.local 8080 actuator health, and it's up. My mission is complete for this day. Stream ending soon. Let's switch to here. Let's back that off. And yeah, so we are all done. We did what we wanted. You're just chilling. It's dinner time. What? That's kind of late. That's kind of late for dinner. I am going to possibly do some more later, but for right now, I'm going to take a break. This was episode 0, mission accomplished, 100 days of code, day 1 in the books. I've got plenty of commits. I've done some stuff. I've done some coding. I've practiced, and that's it. That's all I wanted to do. So thank you everyone for coming in. Hit that subscribe button, all the stuff, and yeah, I hope to see you again soon. Thanks. Later.